and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Nico's baby. You already know me. But yeah, today I decided to do a story time. A lot of people have been commenting on my YouTube videos saying that they really want to see a story time, and I'm like, well, I have loads of stories to tell you guys because my life is like literally crazy, but in a good way. And a lot of things actually happen to me that are just so bizarre, and it's like, what? Why me? But then I just know that it's a lesson learned, and it's God's way of teaching me, you know, yeah. So I decided to share with you guys some of my crazy stories, and hope you guys. So, as you guys can see, I'm back in my room. I was trying to do like the whole thing with the backdrops and, you know, all of that, but then again I'm just like, I really just feel like this is more me, and it's more cozy, and I feel more comfortable talking to you guys like this. It's just laid back, and I just don't want to feel like it's like fake and in a set and everything. So I just prefer this, and especially for a story time and everything. It's just like, who doesn't want to hear a story like in their room with their girls or whoever they're talking to or telling the story to, you know. So yeah, I just wanted to be more genuine, so we're just gonna do it here. Okay, you guys, so I decided to tell you guys the story about like the worst weekend I ever had, and like I will remember this weekend forever because it was literally the worst weekend ever. So basically this is what happened. Alright, so you know, this is a while back, like maybe like 2 years ago, and I think I was like in my second semester. I was a freshman and I was in my second semester, yeah, of school. And I was staying on campus, and if you guys know, I go to a really strict university. Like, it's a Christian university and they're really strict, especially. So yeah, the school was really strict. We had curfew. I think our curfew was like 11 o'clock, and on the weekends it was like 12:30 or something like that, which is ridiculous. Like, we're college students, we're supposed to be grown, and you guys are like giving us so much rules. So basically, if you do not abide by these rules, you get fined. And not little fines, I'm talking, well, they're starting at like $10. We weren't allowed to wear jewelry, and like if you're late, if you're AWOL and you're late for room check or something like that, that could be like $200. So this weekend, okay, so at this time I was talking to this guy, and I really liked him, but he lived in Atlanta, and Atlanta was like 3 to 4 hours away. So I was just like, oh my God, like, you know, me and him had been texting this whole day. This is on a Friday, and he had just been telling me, you know, I really miss you, and like we had been texting throughout the day, like, what are you doing? He's like, he's going to the grocery store, he's doing this, he's doing that, like texting all day, and all day long he's telling me, dang, I wish you were here, I really miss you. So in my head I'm like, dang, I really do want to see him. So I was just thinking like, maybe I should surprise him, and then I'm like, nah, it just doesn't seem like such a good idea. And so I'm just like, but how could I surprise him in a way, like, so I don't set myself up to see something I don't want to see, and I try to be smart about it. So I was like, okay, if I surprise him, I'll just tell him that because I used to, since we were in a long distance relationship, I used to do it to where like, okay, sometimes I would have my friend cook for him because she had a catering business, and I would pay her and she'll send it well, I only did it once, so I was just like, okay, let me just act like I'm gonna do it again, so he thinks someone is coming at night and he won't have anyone there because the girl is my friend, and he wouldn't want her to see anything or anything like that, so that would just keep me safe. Okay, so I decided to go and surprise him. So I'm just like, you know, I didn't have a car then, and I was just like, so I asked somebody that I knew that usually goes to Atlanta, and I'm like, hey, you know, can I ride with you to Atlanta? You know, I'll pay you gas money or whatever. Cool. But he said that he's leaving that day to come back. Like, he's just going to come pick something up. So I was like, dang, but, you know, I want to stay, you know, kind of chill with him and stuff like that after I surprise him. So then I was like, all right, whatever, I'll just take the bus back. So and it's called the Mega Bus. It's like this really cheap bus, and the bus, I live in Huntsville, Alabama, and the bus only goes to Birmingham, Alabama. So I was like, okay, then I'll just have somebody pick me up from Birmingham, Alabama and drive me back to Huntsville, one of my friends or something. All right, cool. So then, you know, everything's going good. Me and my friend worked out the plan. Like, I told him she was coming that night to bring him food, that he should just be home or whatever, because she's going to come drop it off. Like, I already paid her. Enjoy or whatever. And he was like, oh, okay, cool. You're so sweet. So then, you know, when in all reality, it's me coming to surprise him. So on my way, everything is good. I'm just like texting him like, yeah, what you doing now? Da, 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 da. You know, like I'm not coming. So then at night, my friend is like about to drop me off, and I'm telling him my plan. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm about to surprise him. He's like, do you think this is a good idea? And I'm like, yeah, like I've been texting him all day, and plus he thinks my friend's coming, so it's not a bad idea at all. Tell me why I go up there to surprise him, and the door was just open, and I was just like, okay. So I opened the door, and he is sitting there with another girl. And the girl is just, well, the girl has a blanket and is laying on the couch, comfortable as hell. And he's on the other couch, and they just watching a movie. And I'm just like, and when I come in, he looks at me and is just like, and I'm like, and the first thing I say is, what the hell? And he was like, oh my God. So he just looked kind of awkward, and then he came, and I was like, you might want to come in the bathroom and talk to me before you get embarrassed like that. And you see, look at me still trying to be nice to him, but I was still trying to be nice because I was like, maybe like I don't want to trip out real fast because this could be something else. So we're in the bathroom. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Because we've been talking all day, and you didn't tell me you were with anyone. And he was like, oh no, this is just my friend or whatever. So I'm like, I still didn't believe that. I was just like, whatever, because you didn't tell me, you didn't mention hanging out with your friend all day long. We've been talking, and you've been saying you miss me and stuff. So then I go and tell me why I sit right next to the babe. Like, I sat right next to her, and I looked at her, and the first thing I said was, so do you come here often? And she was like, oh no, I hope you don't think there's anything going on between us. And then I was just like, do you come here often? She was like, well, we just spent the whole day together, and like I just went grocery shopping with him and stuff. And I said, hold up, what? Because I've been talking to you while you was going grocery shopping and everything, and you did not mention not one time that you had a friend with you like that, you know. So I started to get hype a little bit, and she says, I think it's time for me to leave. And I'm like, yeah, I think it is time for you to leave like that. And can you imagine, he just up in the kitchen while I'm talking to her. So then I'm just like, all right. So she gets up, about to leave or whatever. Then I just look back, and she's in the kitchen with him, like, looked like they were flirting or something, like trying to get her keys from him or something like that. And I was like, what is going on? Like, are y'all serious right now? I was like, all right, you need to leave like that. And she was like, yeah, okay, I'm leaving now. And he told her, okay, I'm gonna walk you out. And I said, we gonna walk her out? Like, are you serious? Like, no, number one thing, don't try to play me, because you're just gonna be playing your damn self. So anyway, I'm like, we gonna walk her out. And like, while this was happening, I was like, is this really happening to me? Because this means that not only would I have been embarrassed if my friend would have came and brought the food for you and you were there with another girl and I didn't know, because she would have definitely told me. But it's just like, you really just tried to play me. So we walked the girl down or whatever, and she gets in her car and leave, and I'm like, be safe or whatever. So we get back up to his house, and I'm like, really? Like, why would you do this to me? Like, what is really going on? Like, you spent all day talking to me, but you didn't try to mention that you were with another girl. Like, who is she? Oh my goodness. And then the girl, to be honest, like, I give credit where it's due, and I will tell you if somebody is cute or not, but she really wasn't that cute. But she had a nice body. Like, her butt was huge. That's one thing I remember her getting up like, dang, her butt is so big. But anyway, I was so pissed at him, and I was like, you know what, I'm leaving. And I took my stuff, like I had a suitcase and everything. So as I'm going downstairs, I'm thinking to myself, where the hell am I going? Because I ain't got no car. Who am I about to call? This is so embarrassing. I'm not really about to call that guy again and tell him this just happened so he can come pick me up. So then finally, I don't even know what happened. Oh, I called my friend Kiara, one of my good friends that live in Atlanta. I'm like, can you please come pick me up? You know, I tell her everything that happens. And he is such a butthole. He didn't even like, he wasn't even trying to say sorry or anything. He was just like, why would you come surprise me? I felt so stupid. Moral of that story is, guys, please I just hate surprises. Like, I just know I can never surprise another guy. No matter how faithful I think they are or whatever, I'm just not surprising nobody. If I'm coming to see you, you gonna know I'm coming to see you. This is in the beginning of school. So, I was not supposed to leave that week, and I took a risk. I was like, oh my God, I'm just gonna, you know, when they come for check, I just told my roommate to just say that, you know, I was in the bathroom or something. So, I was so upset that I decided, you know what, I'm just going to try and catch this bus tonight. And I just buy a ticket online. And I just called someone like, okay, can they pick me up from Birmingham at this and this and time? And I was like, all right, cool, they're going to be on time. Mind you, there is no bus stop for this bus. The bus literally, like, the address is just somewhere on the street, and you have to make sure whoever is picking you up is on time, because if they're not on time, that's it. Like, you're just on the street. So I'm just praying, like, okay, I'm texting the guy that's supposed to be coming to pick me up from the bus station. My friend, I'm just texting him the whole time, like, listen, please be there on time, because, you know, there's no bus stop. He's like, yeah, I got you. So, I'm so upset. So finally, I go to take the bus home, and I'm just like, whatever, I'm just gonna go back home and just, you know, try to go back to school and just, like act like everything is normal. So, I get on the bus, everything is going good. You know, I'm still upset, but I'm just like, man, whatever, forget him. Like, so, I'm on my way back to school, because I didn't tell my mom I was coming into town. I didn't tell my sister I was coming into town. I just thought I was just going to come do this big surprise, spend a weekend with him, and then go back. So, I'm on my way back, and I'm on the bus. Like, it's like a 2-hour drive to Birmingham. So, I'm on the bus, everything's going good and everything like that, and we finally stop in Birmingham, and I'm texting the guy like, hello, are you here? He is not replying. It's pitch black, and we are parked at the bus station in Birmingham. So then I'm just like, oh my God. And y'all, the bus conductor or whatever was so ghetto and so rude the whole trip, and it was just like, he was just so loud. You could hear him on the phone. I'm like, oh my God, this bus is so cheap and so horrible. Like, why would I take a bus over a guy? So, and I'm just freaking out, like, what am I about to do? So I'm like, okay, I'm just about to chill until the bus moves away. I'm just about to chill until the bus pulls off again. So I'm just like, oh my God, please let him text me. Please let him be here. So I don't see him anywhere. I'm looking out the bus windows and everything. Next thing you know, I'm just like, all right, the bus is waiting. Like, maybe they're waiting for their next people to come in. Next thing you know, the bus starts to move. And I get up like, no, I gotta get off. And he was like, well, what the hell was you doing this whole time? Dang, girl, ain't nobody got time for this. Everybody trying to get somewhere at a certain time, and you holding folks up. Now is you gonna get off the bus? Is you gonna get off the bus? Like that. And I was like, yes, I'm sorry. Like, my ride is, he's like, hey, you knew that this bus was gonna stop right here. Okay. So at this point, I'm just like, wow, I have no choice. I have to get off this bus with all my luggage and just sit outside. So I get off the bus, and it's so scary. And I try to call the guy again, and I realize, oh my God, my phone is off. Like, how do I forget to pay my phone bill at this time? So then I'm just like, oh my goodness. All right, so I'm just like, I need to get somewhere and pay my phone bill. I can't see, like, I can't use my phone because I have to use the flashlight and my phone at the same time. It's just dark outside. So I'm just like, okay, let me just try and walk and find a spot or something. So I'm walking with all my luggage, pitch black in Birmingham. So I'm just walking. I promise you guys, I'm walking for like a mile, and I'm just crying because I don't know what else to do, and I'm just walking and crying, and I got my purse in my hand, and I'm pulling my suitcase. So after I walked for like a mile, so yeah, I'm just walking and crying, And like after I walk for like a mile, I start to see like people, but all the people that I'm seeing are homeless. And I'm just like, oh my God. So I even start, I mean, I'm not like nothing against homeless people, but I'm scared because like I'm just like, I don't got nowhere to go. I'm one of y'all too. So I'm just looking around like, oh my God, what should I do right now? I have like a lot of expensive things on me and I'm just so scared. So I start to see cars pass by. I'm like, finally I'm seeing some cars. And I'm trying to wave at them while I'm crying with all my luggage and stuff. And they're rolling up their window on me. And I'm just like, hold on. These people think I'm homeless too. Like, what am I about to do? Nobody's about to try and help me. Like, people just look, and I'm just like, and then I start to get mad, like, oh my God. Like, I feel like I'm one of them. Like, so this is how you really gonna do me? Like, from a sister to a sister, a brother to a brother, you just not gonna help a sister out, and you see me crying, and I'm just like, I really don't even look homeless. Like, what? So I'm still crying and stuff, and I promise I walk for like another 2 miles, and I'm so scared. I'm just looking around crying. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I need to get somewhere. So I walk for another 2 miles. I finally see a gas station, and I'm like, oh my God, this is God, because a police officer just pulled in. So I go to the police officer and I'm like, hello, I'm stranded. I just got off the bus. My ride never showed up. I don't know what to do. And he's like, I'm like, can you give me a ride somewhere, like to a hotel or something like that? And he's like, I'm sorry, I can't give you a ride anywhere. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, aren't you supposed to be here to help me out? He was just like, I can't give you a ride, but I know there's a club up there that you can walk to, and maybe somebody there can help you out or whatever. So I'm just like, could you please just come with me? I really don't feel like being, like, I just can't be alone right now, and I'm scared. So the police officer walks, thank God the club was just across the street, and the police officer walks me to the club across the street and like talks to the owner and asks him like, could I just come in or whatever, and like until I get to call my mom or something like that. So the guy at the club, he was nice, he let me in or whatever, and he was just like, oh, everything's gonna be okay, because I'm still crying. Like, I'm literally like I don't know what to do. They thought I was homeless. Like, I just couldn't get over that. So then I finally get in the club, and I'm just sitting at the bar, and I'm just like, okay, let me pay my phone bill. Let me pay my phone bill. Pay my phone bill. The guy's still not answering my call, so I'm like, maybe he just flaked on me, like he doesn't want to come get me. So I start to call my mom. My mom's not answering her calls, and I'm just like, I know she's knocked out. Oh, I forgot to mention, it was like 3 a.m. in the morning. So I'm trying to, and I'm like, I don't know who to call. So then I'm like, okay, let me call who I know is always up, and I call my friend Juniper, but she lives in Texas. I don't know what the heck she gonna do. So I'm calling her, and I'm like, oh my God, Juniper, I'm stuck outside of Birmingham. I don't know what to do. Help me, help me, help me. And she's like, Nikkei, you need to call your dean at your school. And I'm like, oh, because I'm not calling no dean at the school, because my dean thinks I'm still at that school. I was like, I'd rather call my mom before I call my dean. So I finally get through to my mom, and I'm just crying. I'm like, Mommy, like, my friend didn't pick me up. I didn't know. Like, she was like, what? You're supposed to tell me every move you make. Why would you go to Atlanta without telling me? What are you doing? Are you stupid? I'm like, okay, are you going to yell at me, or are we going to fix this? So my mom's like, okay, let's just calm down. I know you don't want to call your dean, but we got to call your dean. She's going to find out sooner or later. So she calls my dean. My dean calls me, and my dean's like, Nikkei, why would you do this? And I'm just like thinking in my head, like, why are y'all asking me why I would do this when I'm in the moment and I need help? Can somebody come get me? And we could talk about all that and punishment after, because right now I need to be saved. So finally the guy, oh my God, you guys, this is not even the worst part. I don't know why I would tell someone who is so weird to come pick me up, because I was just so desperate. Because my friend that was supposed to pick me up couldn't come get me and was like, okay, he'll send his friend. But I know the guy is so weird. Like, this guy told me when I met him that he's dropping out of school, and I'm like, why are you just dropping out of school out of nowhere? He's like, I saw it in my dream. I gotta be a fisherman. Like, what? We're in 2014 or 15, wherever we were, and you telling me you dropping out of school to be a fisherman? Oh, you really got something wrong with in your head, like, seriously. So the guy comes to pick me up. He finally calls, and I'm like, what is going on? He's like, I'm on time. What I forget is that Atlanta is an hour ahead of Birmingham. So the guy, even if it's an hour ahead, it's like you were 3 hours late. I was on the street for an hour and a half, guys. On the street. So finally, he comes to get me. So sorry, that's my mom. I didn't mean to do that. Shoot, mom. So finally he comes to get me, and I'm just like, I'm so upset. Like, I'm just mute. I don't even know what to say. I'm just like, wow, do you know I was on the street for this long? He's like, I'm so sorry, I had some issues. And I was just like, all right, so I've definitely learned my lesson, and I will never do that again, and I will never ride a bus again, especially not that bus. And I just know that now I've just really learned my lesson. Like, what? Why would this happen to me? Until this day, I'm still like terrified of riding the bus, especially alone. Like, if I was with a group of friends or something like that, yes. But then, and I will never in my life surprise a guy, because that was the worst weekend ever. Oh, and not to mention, you thought it was over. When I got back to school, my dean was like, honey, you... I felt like I was in jail, y'all. Like, I felt like I was being thrown in the shoe. I was on more, like, they made sure they checked me every day to see if I was in my room at the time. And I just had to do so much stuff. And then I'm just, oh, and my fines was like, how much did I pay? I paid like $500 or something like that in fines. And yeah, I was scared. And so yeah, guys, that was really a horrible weekend for me, like, that I would never forget. But whatever, stuff happens, and I definitely learned my lesson. And you know, yeah, I took my butt off campus so I don't get them fines. And as for the guy, cut off. To tell you guys, please remember to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat. And also subscribe. And feel free to comment and tell me what you would like to see. Thank you guys so much. Hope you're keeping up. Mwah.